Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and boy oh boy do we have a lot to go over here in this video. So today is December 8th. A few hours ago, Treyarch decided to push through a new update that is supposed to serve as a quality of life update that fixes a number of bugs and prepares the game for the big Season 1 update on December 16th. Well, both of those things ended up happening. Lots of bugs got fixed, but even more were added, which is partially why they decided to push through the update at 2 o'clock in the morning instead of mid-afternoon. Hopefully they address all these issues very soon and get this fixed today rather than next week, but something else ended up happening. When they said that they were preparing the game for the big Season 1 update, they weren't kidding, because data miners have found a metric shit ton of new stuff within the game files that basically reveals everything that will be coming within Season 1. Now, as always, I'm going to have to go with my standard protocol when it comes to discussing leaks here in my video. While yes, I will be discussing virtually everything that we've learned, I can't actually show you guys anything here in this video because Activision would throw a fit and strike down my channel. One thing I can show you, however, are the 3 new weapons that will be coming with Season 1, because going full circle here back to the bugs I mentioned earlier, it turns out with today's update, they decided to add the multiplayer and zombies mastery calling cards for the MAC-10 submachine gun, the Groza assault rifle, as well as the Street Sweeper shotgun. These of course were leaked a while ago, but right now, at this very moment of this video being recorded, anyone and everyone can see these 3 weapons within the calling card section of Black Ops Cold War, so I figured it was safe to include those here in this video. I believe they're also in the combat record as well, but now that the weapons are out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about maps. We all know that a remaster of Raid is coming, and it looks like Raid is going to be exactly like it was back in Black Ops 2. It doesn't appear to have gotten any sort of overhaul to its theme like we saw with Nuketown 84, but speaking of Nuketown 84, a Christmas version of that map is coming in Season 1. We were able to see the pre-game loading cinematic for the map, and I've got to say, Christmas Nuketown looks pretty dark, right? So picture Nuketown 84, but at nighttime, with Christmas lights strung up all around the map. That's pretty much it. There are no normal lights in either of the buildings, because we're talking about an abandoned site here, so there's no normal lights anywhere, but there are Christmas lights everywhere, as well as, of course, the light that comes down from the moon. In certain parts of the loading cinematic, areas looked really dark and difficult to see, but in other places, visibility looked fine, so I suppose we're going to have to wait and see how the map is going to play once it goes live with Season 1. If I had to guess, they will likely have lighting figured out for this map and not make it too dark. But then again, Nuketown, where you literally cannot see the people camping in windows or on the stairs in the buildings, wouldn't be too far out of the question if you look at what Infinity Ward did to Shipment back in Modern Warfare 2019. Again, we're going to have to wait and see how things are going to play out, but a Christmas Nuketown is coming, along with presumably what is going to be a holiday event for Black Ops Cold War. Now, moving along here with the rest of the multiplayer maps, we have the loading cinematics for all 4 of the new 2v2 gunfight maps that will be added to the game. One map is going to be set on a game show that is called What Do the Numbers Mean, which looks absolutely incredible. Another gunfight map is going to be set below a nuclear silo that is sort of reminiscent to that area underneath a rocket on the map Launch from Black Ops 1. It kind of looks like that, but it's all indoors. Another map is going to be set in an underground subway station, which looks an awful lot like the map Station from Call of Duty World at War. And the final gunfight map is going to be set in what looks to be a Russian parliament building, or perhaps even a library of some sort. Basically, picture a really fancy building in Moscow, very ornate, lots of marble, lots of USSR flags and stuff like that. Basically, picture that. It's a small gunfight map, and it looks pretty damn good. So if you're keeping up so far, I've discussed 4 maps that are going to be coming to 2v2 Gunfight. I've discussed the remake of Raid that will be coming to 6v6. I've discussed the nighttime Christmas version of Nuketown that will also be coming to 6v6. And last but not least, we have the Mall in the Pines map, which of course was teased during the Season 1 cinematic as well as on the Season 1 roadmap. Mall in the Pines is basically going to be an 80s mall set at night in the winter in New Jersey, and it looks like it's going to feature a lot of references to Back to the Future and even Stranger Things with its theme and its aesthetic, and honestly, that's the map I'm most excited for. I'm obviously excited for Raid, but we've seen Raid before, right? We've actually seen Raid a number of times. What we see here with Mall of the Pines is going to be a lot different, and it's going to be very 80s, very neon. I'm excited for that personally, and I can't wait to see how the map is actually going to play. Now, moving along here, it's a surprise to nobody that the shop is going to receive a massive overhaul with Season 1, but man, oh man, are the people who cry out for realism in COD going to be disappointed with what they see. For me personally, I'm all for this stuff. I think it's silly to treat Call of Duty as if it was a realistic game and therefore have really boring and somewhat realistic cosmetics, and the stuff that we see in the in-game shop as well as on the Battle Pass for Season 1 are basically going to be just as crazy as some of the later season stuff that we saw in Modern Warfare and even some of the stuff that we saw back in Black Ops 4. Right away, we're going to be seeing the return of Tracer packs. We are going to see anime-themed weapon blueprints, complete with kawaii fucking uwu pink-haired girls and pink Tracer bullets. We're going to have a number of retro arcade-looking skins for various weapons in the game, which actually look pretty good. And of course, we're going to have a number of more grounded-looking weapon variants as well. It's not all going to be crazy, but there's going to be a number of very flashy, very crazy stuff that's going to be available on the Battle Pass as well as in the in-game shop. New operator skins are also going to be coming to the game in addition to all of that. We have Frank Woods in a Christmas sweater, which I really hope is tied to some sort of a challenge on Christmas Nuketown. We have a Payday-looking clown skin that has a button on his shirt that reads, "I love money." That's going to be coming to the game, and I vote that we all dub that the Activision skin, for obvious reasons. On top of that, we have a Formula 1 race car driver-looking skin, as well as a whole bunch of other operator skins are going to be coming as part of bundles, as well as they're going to be part of the Season 1 Battle Pass. The in-game shop is basically going to function exactly like it did back in 2019. The thumbnails for the various bundles and items in the in-game shop look like they belong in Modern Warfare, and we even have free bundles occasionally returning, just like we saw in Modern Warfare. Basically, picture the shop in Black Ops Cold War to be exactly like what we saw back in Modern Warfare 2019, except this time around they're going kind of crazy with all the skins and cosmetics right away, as compared to waiting until June or July to finally start adding interesting stuff onto the Battle Pass and into the in-game shop. Now that we've covered maps, guns, operators, and shop skins, let's go ahead here and talk about something a bit more nitty-gritty. So, with the launch of Season 1, we will finally be able to level up again, and as a result, the Prestige shop is finally going to be available. It looks like in addition to being able to purchase old-school Prestige icons with our Prestige keys, we're also going to be able to purchase XP tokens, Battle Pass tier skips, as well as full soundtracks from previous Treyarch titles. This means if you want to have the full Black Ops 1 soundtrack, for example, built directly into your Black Ops Cold War and have the music from that game play in the main menu as well as in your matches, you will be able to do so via the Prestige shop. Right now, the only one we see is the Black Ops 1 soundtrack mix. It actually looks pretty cool. It's like a little cassette tape and it says Black Ops 1 mix, but chances are Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, and stuff like that are also going to be added at some point, but right now we do know for a fact that the Black Ops 1 soundtrack will be added with Season 1. I'm really hoping that a couple of other things end up coming to the Prestige shop, like for example, exclusive operator skins, exclusive weapon variants, exclusive weapon camos, things like that, right? Things that you can only get by spending your Prestige keys, because that makes these items a lot more difficult to actually acquire, and you can actually work towards them by prestiging, and then of course getting to Prestige Master, and then going through every 50 levels of Prestige Master to earn even more keys. I'm hoping we have a lot of cool stuff within the Prestige shop, but right now it's looking like we're going to have old school Prestige icons, XP tokens, Battle Pass tier skips, as well as soundtracks from previous Treyarch games. A few final things to mention before we wrap up the video here today. It looks like 3 new melee weapons are also coming. We have a sledgehammer, a katana, and a knife that looks like it was made out of a sharpened bone. If you're a knife-only person, like these knives only, you're pretty excited about that, I'm sure. 3 new melee weapons coming with Season 1. We also have an image of a Vietnam-looking training course, and I'm not sure if that's intended to be a 6v6 map, or if maybe that's going to be the new Fire Team map that Treyarch mentioned is also going to be coming with Season 1. And last but not least, we have a number of new reticles that may or may not be tied to bundles, and we also have roughly 30 new executions, which may be tied to the shop or may be tied to the Battle Pass. These executions are actually pretty sick too. They go all out with these things. Like one of them looks like a Randy Orton RKO. There's another one where you pistol whip the guy then stomp on his face. Another one you sneak up from behind and literally kick him in the nuts. Like, these things are pretty crazy, and there's roughly 30 of them, though it does look like a number of them are going to be tied to specific weapons, like the new sledgehammer that I mentioned is going to be coming out with Season 1. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That's pretty much the long and the short of all the content that we know for a fact is going to be coming with Season 1 here in Black Ops Cold War. I've got to say, I am so excited for this. I've talked about it a couple of times here in the channel, but I'm straight up bored with Black Ops Cold War right now because the game that we're playing right now is basically the beta, but with progression, and that progression stops at 3rd Prestige, which makes people like me not even want to do challenges because I feel like I'm wasting experience. And right now, the only thing left for me to do is grind out my weapon levels so I can do weapon challenges later, but weapon leveling is extremely tedious so far, so I feel like there's nothing really to do after only putting in a couple of days of playtime in the Black Ops Cold War, but I definitely think that's all going to be fixed once Season 1 comes out, because if you look at everything I've discussed here in this video, when Season 1 goes live, we're talking about 6 to 7 new maps, 3 new guns, we're actually going to be able to prestige and work towards our challenges and the prestige shop, we're going to have new game modes including gunfight, there's going to be potentially a holiday event with Christmas Nuketown, we have the battle pass to grind through, there's going to be so much to do, and it's going to be a lot of fun, but right now it feels like we're playing the beta with progression, essentially, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of burnt out on it. There's just not a whole lot left for me to do besides grind up bad weapons in a game that is designed with such heavy skill-based matchmaking that while I'm sitting here with like my KSP or, you know, my hipfire M60 or, you know, my sniper rifles and stuff, I'm facing people sliding and jumping around with MP5s and, you know, golden AUGs and stuff like that. It just isn't fun to play against those people, especially while using bad weapons, especially knowing how long it takes to level my weapons and also knowing how none of my XP is actually going towards anything. It just isn't a good thing, right? Black Ops Cold War is in a bad place right now, in my own personal opinion, but Season 1 looks to fix virtually every problem I have with the game so far, with the exception of the score streak system, but that may be a topic for another video. For right now, I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you did, consider leaving a like. Thank you all so much for listening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.